Hi here, Vince here. I'm back for another video, and today I'm going to be talking about Dancing on Ice 2022. Yes, I really am talking about Dancing on Ice this year. Well, I've got to say, I'm a bit disappointed. Usually every year I go on my channel and, do a review of the whole series of Dancing on Ice. Basically, if you don't know what Dancing on Ice is, it's a skating show in the UK where celebrities learn to ice skate and do lally and that. And I'm just not feeling it this year, and I think this will be my only video about Dancing on Ice. Question is, should we just end Dancing on Ice? Because hardly anybody watching it. The ratings have gone down. So, how can we save Dancing on Ice in the UK? How can we save it? I gotta say, I'm just not into it this year, and I don't know why. It's just yeah, Dancing on Ice, compared to Strictly Come Dancing, which I also like to watch and review, it's just two worlds apart for me. And I think Dancing on Ice has peaked. I just think Dancing on Ice now has gone by their sell date. When the show rebooted in 2018, it was exciting, there was a lot of hype, a lot of excitement around the reboot, and then the last few years, just like, there's been no hype, no buzz about Dancing on Ice. And I just kind of feel, especially this year, like, hardly anyone is talking. When Strictly's on, like, you would go down the street and, like, people would be talking about Strictly, their favourite celebs, their favourite couples, and this and that. No one talks about Dancing on Ice when it's on this time of year. No one talks about it. There's just no hype. There's no buzz. There's no excitement. I just think... And it's not even on a Saturday night. It's always been on a Sunday night. So I think there's always... they've missed an opportunity there. Not being on a Saturday night, just saying. But yeah, the lineup this year for Dancing on Ice is not as strong as we've had in other years. I just think the names are a little bit weaker compared to some other years. I mean, for goodness sake, like a quarter of the celebrities in the lineup this year are like dancers anyway. So that's also another problem of Dancing on Ice in recent years. Is the names they get are like, some of them are like professional dancers already. So you lose the surprise when they're actually good at Dancing on Ice. You know what I mean? Like, you have Brendan Cole, who's a professional ballroom Latin dancer. The problem is, we know he's going to do well, because he's a dancer. He's going to do good. So there's no surprise there. Kimberly Wyatt from the Pussycat Dolls. Once again, a dancer. Very good, very nice lady. But there's no surprise. We've also got Regan Gascoigne, who's also a dancer. He will be good in the second week when he does. There's no surprise. So yeah, it just feels like this is a problem. When they have dancers on the show as celebrities, I kind of feel like I lose their surprise. I don't get on board with them. I mean, they can be lovely people and that. But dates a number of years. James Jordan won the show in 2019. But he's a professional dancer, so we knew he was going to be good. Perry from Diversity, once again. He was a dancer from Diversity. We knew he was going to be good at it, and he was. So it just loses the excitement, You want to see whether these celebrities are going to be good or not Dancing on Ice, and I kind of feel like it's quite predictable who's going to be, well, good, and who's going to be crap. I mean, there are some interesting names in the lineup this year. Bez, of course, from Happy Mondays, is definitely going to be an interesting character if he's going to perform again. He does remind me of Tom Carty. He had a crash helmet on and everything. I just loved his dance, How many camera shots of Shaun Ryder from the audience were they going to do? I mean, I'm surprised the judges didn't score him lower, is what I say. But unfortunately, Bez has tested positive for COVID, so we've had our first incident of the series. Yeah. I mean, you know, there are some good names. I mean, Sally from Coronation Street, so, you know, Liberty Paul from Love Island, I look forward to her. Connor Ball from The Vamps, you know, he's quite a good signing. But then you got kind of the other ones like Ben Foden, who's an ex-international rugby player who, you know, used to be married to Una Healy from Saturdays, and then he cheated on her. And I like Una Healy. I like the Saturdays. I love Una's songs. So it's a tough one for me to get on board with Ben Foden, I've got to say, because I'm a massive fan of Una Healy, and I didn't like what he did to her personally, so I'll be struggling to warm to him personally, but we'll see how he gets on. I mean, yeah, yeah, and there are some Regan Gascoigne. Who is he? He's the son of Paul Gascoigne. But that's, like, I don't know any other TV shows he's been on. He's known as a dancer. That makes you a celebrity. I mean, he could have been on Love Island, as we know. And, like, his name to fame is doing an interview on Lorraine. Seriously? Like, Bianca Gascoigne is more famous than him. Don't get me wrong, Regan Gascoigne is probably a lovely guy, got nothing against him. But really, it's like, that's the best you can do. With a lineup. Like, anyway, it's just like, some of these names are just like filling the numbers. It's just, I just think more celebrities nowadays want to do Strictly Come Dancing, really. Because that's the #1 show, you want dancing show you would want to sign up to. Unless you are a professional dancer. Because Kimberly Wyatt, you know, after this, drama that happened with Ashley Roberts, Kimberly Wyatt was never going to do Strictly Come Dancing after what happened to Ashley Roberts. So Dancing on Ice is the second best thing, and that's why she's on it, really. I mean, I do look at some of these, celebs this year on Dancing on Ice, and I'm like, why couldn't you not done Strictly? It would have been so much better. But anyway, I mean, talking about Strictly, we've got a new judge who's also surprisingly come off Strictly Come Dancing. Yes, the queen of Strictly, Oshie Mabuse, has now joined the panel on Dancing on Ice after John Barrowman has stepped down, or been axed from the panel after very naughty behaviour behind the scenes. We won't go into details what he has done, but we've got the wonderful Oshie Mabuse stepping in for him, which I think she's good. I think she's a good choice. I'm glad we've got another woman on the panel. I think Jane Torval, I mean, we needed a strong woman, strong independent woman, and that's what Oshie Mabuse is. Jane Torval is not a strong independent woman, we forget she's like there now. But it is very interesting seeing Oshie judge Brendan Cole. I always find especially when he was like the first one out on the first week, it's just very odd how they judge each other's but Oshie Mabuse is like a professional dancer, so is Brendan Cole is the same field, so it's very interesting they're judging each other. It's just very odd viewing. And then that's another thing. If they go on oh, it's an ice skating show, then why couldn't we have a panel full of professional ice skaters and professional choreographers? Why do we have dancers as judges and dancers as celebrities? That's what I don't get, on Dancing on Ice. It's just confusing when they all judge each other and they're all in the same fields. Who's, knows best, and really, and Ashley Banjos, was on a judging panel with Kimberly Wyatt, got to dance, remember, 10 years ago, so they know each other. So I also don't like when there's connections to the judges, real personal connections to the judges, or all the celebrities, because you kind of feel like there might be a bit of bias between them, like what happened a couple of years ago with Ashley Banjo and Perry from Diversity. Like, it just was really confusing and like really odd. Like, how do you judge, like, when you're from the same field, knowing the same thing? It's just very odd for me. I just find that very odd, personally. But yeah. Is there anything else to talk about? Yeah, Rachel Stevens is also on the judging panel, but she has had to withdraw. Well, she's not going to compete on Sunday night. She got an injury. I don't think. Could be a chance we won't ever see her skate. On the show, I wouldn't be surprised. That's karma after not taking part in the creamy finale on Dick and Dom in the Bungalow back in 2005. I used to watch that when I was really little, so yes, Dick and Dom are probably laughing right now. Rachel shaking Stevens, but no, we wish her the best of luck. Yeah. So yes, Dancing on Ice. I will be watching it, see what happens, but I don't think I will be doing a review on it. I think we're in the world of Eurovision right now, and I'm busy editing Eurovision videos as we speak as well. So I just don't think I'm going to have the time, unfortunately, to do Dancing on Ice every week. I really can't do it every week. I really can't. If there's something, a big storyline happens, like, I don't know, 10 of them get COVID, I might, not in, like, you know, because there's bound to be injuries and people are going to get a lot, like, I feel like last year, like 4 or 5 of them either got injured or got COVID and was replaced. So it was a big old mess. Last year was a big old mess. Really, I mean, Denise Valentin could have won it if she didn't get injured, and Joe Warren Platt last year, if he didn't get COVID, he could have won. But it was like, it was all ruined, like, last year, because there's so many good ones just had to withdraw, and it was just a big mess getting replacements in, and they're like, oh, it's just, at the last minute, it was all just too much. But it'd be interesting to see how, I mean, 2 of them have already, like, Bez and Rachel Shaken Stevens have already, well, won't be next week, so it'll be interesting if they'll come back. Yeah, yeah, and no routines I saw in the first week, which was interesting. I guess that's also a less COVID risk, I guess, not to put them all together, which I think is fair, I guess. Is there anything else to talk about Dancing on Ice? What do you think of Dancing on Ice 2022? Were you happy with the lineup of the first week? Rhea is in the skate-off for next week. I think Rhea deserves to go far. I would be sad if she goes out first. And Lukasz, her partner, you know, gets knocked out first nearly every year, so you kind of feel sorry for him. I guess her public vote wasn't big. Oh, and may I point out, these pro skaters, I know none of them. Like, on Strictly, you know, like, the professionals, you know their background. These ones on Dancing on Ice, I know nothing about them, apart from the few that have been on it for quite a long time. I don't know hardly any of them. I forget their names, I forget who they've been partnered up with. Let's see, there's no promotion for this show. There's no hype, there's no buzz. Like, we'd be lucky if they do a segment on it on this morning, but there's not even an extra show, like an It Takes Two, to talk about it. There's nothing on social media to talk about it, which is such a missed opportunity. I think, yeah. I mark my words, this year, no, it'll be next year, mark my words, Dancing on Ice will have its final series. Mark my words, in 2023. I don't want that to happen. I used to like Dancing on Ice one point. You know, 2011, you know, it was really competitive. You had to fight to be in the final lineup. You know, one week, you know, you had the celebs, like, vote off the other celebrities, you know, in an exciting twist. The stakes are just not high enough. Like, you know, I miss the years where they had like Jaws. You had two couples on the ice doing the same routine, and then the judges would vote who goes to the public vote and who's not, and then constant group routines. It was just so high impact, and the stakes were high. It was exciting. The music, the intro music, they've cut that out. It's like, ugh. This show used to be exciting on a Sunday night, and like it's like, even the music used to be like, da 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 da. Now it's just, da, 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 da. It's just like, really? Give us theme weeks every week, but that won't change anything. You need to make it exciting. You just, hopefully, you know, I've only seen one episode. I just want Dancing on Ice to be exciting and thrilling again on a Sunday night, but hey, it's just limp. It's just, and yeah, I fear the end might be coming, because I do just think the ratings are just going down every year since 2018, really, and it is a shame. But what can you do to it? I think it needs new producers, maybe, to like give it another lift or something. I don't know. But in any case, what do you think of Dancing on Ice 2022? Do you think it should go, or do you think it should stay on ITV? Comment down below in the comment section below. Like and subscribe this video, and I will be back for more content very soon. Until then, goodbye people, goodbye.